My friends, there's a church in Scottsboro, Alabama, that advertises its division to the city. Now, it all started when the church needed a new roof. Now, everyone agreed on that, but they couldn't agree on the color of the roof. So some people wanted a black shingled roof and other wanted a green shingled roof. Well, the church building committee meetings got really ugly, and people were calling each other names and were issuing threats. And finally, a compromise was reached. One half of the church roof would be shingled in black and the other half in green. And from that point on, members of the congregation sat in church under the portion of the roof that bore their color preference. Now, here's the real tragedy of the story. Although the church sign in the front yard read, "Welcome to the friendliest church in town," the two-tone church roof shouted like a billboard to the entire town that this church was divided. Well, church fights can be ugly. They often arise over petty issues or when people place personal agenda over church-wide priorities. Worse than the fight itself is the memory of the fight that really lingers for years in the mind of the community. Now, our second reading for today is from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians. Now, despite the constant attention of St. Paul to their needs, the church of Corinth was really on the brink of collapse. And why? The second reading tells us why. Paul is distressed over their divisions and petty infightings. So Paul urges the Corinthian church to become united. First, remember that unity does not mean conformity. The church will never find its unity by insisting that all of her members look alike, sound alike, act alike, or even think alike. This kind of uniformity is really impossible and unnecessary. St. Paul said this, "All of you agree in what you say, that there will be no divisions among you, but that you are united in the same mind and in the same purpose." Paul's point is that the differences among them should not really become issues of division between them. The Corinthian church was divided. They were divided over their favorite priests. Can you imagine that? Some preferred Paul, some preferred Cephas or Peter, still others followed Apollos. Church members will never agree on their favorite priest, their favorite hymns, their favorite color of the church roof. The only source of unity is Christ. Let us not urge others in the church to be like us, but to be more like Christ. You know, the source of unity in the church is the harmony of diversity centered in Christ. He is really the source of unity in the church. And the goal is not to become identical, but to become more like Christ. We are many trees, but one forest. We are many organs, but one body. We are many skilled positions, but one team. A church is stronger when it embraces many languages, many races. A church is healthier when it reaches across economic boundaries. A church is brighter when it encourages theological dialogue. The church began with a set of brothers whom Jesus called to be his first disciples. But even those brothers had different personalities and different gifts, but they were still one family. Look at the people all around us. We may look different from one another, but we all bear the likeness of the risen Christ. And because of that, we must treat others like one family. Meanwhile, the world is watching us. So the question is, what do they see when they see us? Do they see us pointing people to Jesus Christ?